Hey, balance seekers. Lucky and I are here to share chapter 6 with you. I kind of want to share something personal with you. I'm a recovered Catholic. Back in the 70s, my mom and my sisters and me, there were 5 of us, we were excommunicated from our community and our church. They told my mom she weren't going to get into heaven. They deemed divorce a mortal sin. Even though my dad was a dangerous predator. He inflicted violence on our family on the regular. Even when he left, he came back. That's not spirituality. That's not what Jesus would have done. They wouldn't have left her hanging. She had nobody. Anyway, I digress. I've since learned that spirituality isn't dogma. It's not rules or judgment or shame. It's not. It's a path to your inner self that's safe and full of love. And that's why I'm going to tell you a story today. Okay? This isn't about any particular type of spirituality or belief system. This is a metaphorical story, okay? One that's meant to stoke something inside you, to get you thinking about your life from a different perspective, from a different angle. You don't have to be religious or spiritual. Hear the story, let it land, and then you can think about what it might mean for you, okay? So imagine, if you will, that before you came into the manifest, came into this life, before you were born, there was a little cosmic meeting, right? You, which is your soul, sitting around this vast celestial table with all the other souls that would play a role in your life. All the people you were going to come in contact with throughout your life. So your parents are there, your siblings, if you have them, your best friends, your greatest enemies, your greatest teachers. Yeah, even the bullies. Even the people who would challenge you the most. Everyone will help shape you who you're meant to be. Because it's those challenges that we learn in. And in the meeting, you're all planning like the curriculum for your life, for your time on Earth school. You're choosing your lessons, your growth, opportunities, even your strategies. Not as punishment, but as the fastest way to learn what your soul came here to learn. Now, of course, the universe doesn't consult with us, and our situation is set. But imagine that you could say, I want to learn about resilience. I want to be able to handle challenges. Like my son said, I want to get comfortable being uncomfortable. I want to learn about unconditional love. So I'll pick parents who will teach me this. I want to discover my true strength. I want to resonate higher. I want to be able to face situations that will help me grow and be better and more satisfied. And here's the cool part. You're not just choosing your lessons, you're also choosing your superpowers, your special, unique talents, your perspective, your way of seeing the world in your unique, beautiful eyes. Because every single thing about you, your struggles and your superpowers, make you who you are. They give you the lenses that you look through. Now, pretend that just before you're born, they give you a sip of cosmic amnesia tea. And you forget the plan, you forget the purpose, and they throw you into the game of life and see how you fare. Do you learn the lessons that help you live your best life? How do you remember that you're more than that and they're just lessons? Now, say that doesn't ring with you. So now pretend there's a cosmic conference call. Long before we had smartphones buzzing at us every 5 seconds, there was a gathering of celestial beings, right? Think of it as the ultimate cosmic conference call. There were sages, mystics, beings of pure light, and they were all coming together with one mission. They had to decide how to protect the most precious secret in the universe, the divine spark that lives inside every single one of us. But they had a problem. They could see into the future, and they knew us humans were going to forget what we were there to learn. We'd get so caught up chasing the next achievement, the next validation, the next thing that would finally make us feel complete, the next relationship, and we would probably completely lose sight of the treasure of divinity and of the source of energy. So here's the $1,000,000 question. Where should they hide this secret so that the humans will eventually remember? One said, hey, let's throw it in the deepest ocean. Nah, they'll send submarines. They'll probably have selfie sticks. How about the highest mountain, said another. Nah, they'll climb it and then they'll post about it with some motivational quote. You can actually see pictures like that on the YouTube. But then the wisest one among them, this ancient grandmotherly figure, she gets this knowing, coy smile and she says, I have an idea. Let's hide it inside of them. They'll never look there. In their breath, in their heartbeat, in the silence beneath the turbulent seas. They'll be so distracted that they'll never look inward. And that's exactly what they did. Now, I told you these were metaphors, stories to spark contemplation. And whether you believe in whatever you believe in, past lives, pre-birth planning, cosmic councils, or none of it, it may seem a little silly, but how do we talk about these things? There is something in these stories that speaks to a deeper truth within us about how, perhaps, we might choose to see our lives and recognizing what we carry within us. All we need to do is plug in. Let me tell you what I see at my practice every day. Balance seekers come in carrying so much shame about their struggles, so much anger and frustration about their challenges, so eager to blame the world and the situations and the car that hit them and the lousy boss, that they get used to feeling that way. It feels normal. And what if those very struggles are actually your gifts? It's your curriculum. It's the way you're going to learn. The things you've been through, the challenges you face, the way your nervous system is wired to respond to stress and can be rewired. What if all that isn't evidence that you're broken, but evidence that you're exactly where you're supposed to be? Because you are every moment. You know how I know? Because you're here. That's where you're supposed to be. What if sensitivity isn't a bug in your system? What if it's an awesome feature? What if your ability to feel everything so deeply is actually your superpower of love, not a weakness or vulnerability? I recently had a patient, let's call her Maria. And she's very inspiring. She said something that stopped me in my tracks. Chris, I used to think I was dealt a bad hand in life. Now, I'm wondering if I chose these own cards because they're exactly what I need to learn. That shift in perspective, it changes everything. There's always an upside to every lousy situation. How does it turn out? Instead of being a victim of your circumstances, you now become the author of your growth story. You become an inspirational healing story. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Why has my body betrayed me? How about you start asking, what are you trying to tell me, body? What is this teaching me? How is this helping me become who I'm meant to be, to find my dharma and purpose? Right now, just take a moment. Think about one of your biggest challenges, your deepest struggle. Was it really a punishment or was it a great teacher? Because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean it's punishment. Maybe you don't even see the upside yet. But here's what I've noticed. It's the people who've been through the most stuff that are the most resilient, who've had to develop strong survival skills. They've learned to navigate the most complex emotional terrain. These are often the people who become the most powerful healers, the most compassionate leaders. We could use some of them. The most authentic teachers. No one wants a bullshitty teacher. So what if we flip the script? Okay, balance seekers, what if every crappy challenge you've chased and faced and run from has helped you develop exactly the skills you need for your life's work? What if your nervous system's unique wiring isn't something to be fixed or to be like that person's or that person's? Maybe it's something to understand. You can work with it. You have to. You don't have, this is what you got. Work with what you got. What if you've been trying to heal from things that are actually not errors, but they're your greatest gifts to the world? Your empathy, your intuition, your ability to see what others miss, to recognize things in others because you've been through it. All from the fire of your experience. All this strength has been forged. It doesn't say that it doesn't matter or that you shouldn't seek healing. I'm not saying that you should erase your story. But what I'm saying is it happened. Integrate it, own it, accept it, be truthful, realistic. Use it as fuel for your purpose. Be an inspirational story. Your cosmic curriculum, playing the game on earth, the game of life, these experiences have shaped you. This is what I know. You're not an accident. Your struggles are not worthless and meaningless. Your sensitivity or pain is not a weakness. You are exactly who you need to be. How do I know? Because here we are, and this is you. You are carrying wisdom into the world that we need. So I'm curious. If you could believe in for a moment that you did choose this life, these challenges, these gifts, because you don't have a choice otherwise, how would you see yourself? What might you do differently? What if it was a game of life? It is. I love seeing your ideas and how they land with each of you. So drop them in the comments. Dive into this book. Play with these ideas. What shifts when you stand from this way that maybe, just maybe, you're not broken? It's all the grand design, the tapestry of the universe that's weaving us and everything in it together to make the beautiful life that it is. We're just here to have fun, people. Find some joy. You deserve it.